We've talked about emotional labor. Now let's talk about classwork. Unwritten rule of work number 9 is additional labor. And researchers from 2013 made a framework on classwork. They didn't run a whole study. That's part of why I still did mine, but it's really interesting. Classwork refers to the processes that people use to manage cross-class interactions at work. Like interactions where someone in upper class interacts with someone who's in middle or lower class. These encounters create anxiety. Did you know? Classwork is what we do to help alleviate that anxiety. Unfortunately, this classwork reinforces class distinctions and it's always in favor of the higher class in that setting. We carry our social class identities to work, and there's research showing we routinely compare social classes with other people, and we also make determinations on perceptions of their competence based on what we think their class is. And these comparisons become more heightened in situations where we're in cross-class interactions. These cross-class interactions happen on the basis of looks, cultural knowledge, speech patterns, personal experience. So for example, a triggering cross-class event could be if an upper class person is made uncomfortable by a lower class person wearing clothes that they think are gaudy, or engaging in other taboo behavior like speaking too loudly. Guilty, that's me. Or using certain vocabulary, being late because of unreliable public transportation, or enjoying certain foods. So these taboo behaviors happen and make them uncomfortable, but who's going to decide the dress code or the dining etiquette or what's on the menu? Always the person in the higher class. Now, these cross-class interactions are uncomfortable for both people. For example, if an admin has to have lunch with an executive from another company because the executive she works for shows up late or canceled at the last minute, that's uncomfortable for both of them. However, whose rules do you think they're going to follow? Who has to do the most work? So over time, this class work, which always favors the higher class, becomes institutionalized in the organization, creating structures that always benefit the higher classes, and it does so in a way that is invisible. These class systems perpetuate inequality via discipline and domination. Discipline by enforcing their norms and punishing people who don't and telling the lower classes that they misbehaved and that was inferior. And dominance in developing bureaucratic systems that take away people's control and keeps the control all in the upper class. And once these practices become habitual, people don't even notice them if they're from that class, but people generally don't question them. And a lot of people, even in higher classes, don't even recognize they're doing it. They just see themselves as acting in the organization's best interest and doing what's normal. If you want to see examples of how lower, middle, and upper class people do class work at work, let me know in the comments which ones you want to see.